With superheroes and reaching LGBT youth, especially youth who are at risk, they have that overwhelming sense of other already. They feel removed from their community, they feel removed from their family, from their environments. And when we start to bring, when you as creators bring that sense of other into your work and how you are portraying it, how are you making sure that those are honest connections? I mean, you can easily go, oh, alien, fish out of water, voila, let's go with that. But how do you make sure that it's a richer emotional mood?
Welcome to It Gets Better with Comics After Dark. Cue the music.
We'll figure out the lights in a second.
This is actually kind of nice, right?
Leaning on a wall.
It's been so bright in the hall.
You're not leaning on a light switch?
It's way too bright. I know, it's hard to be gay a little bit.
We planned that.
Do we need to move around more? Is that the issue? I mean... Oh, okay.
So, yes, I'll just say quickly that I tend to be a very naturalist writer, and so when I'm doing stories and I want to talk about sexuality and I want to talk about alienation, I just directly do. And the supernatural or superheroic elements in the work they exist as well and they reinforce it, but they're not stand-ins at all. For instance, the Power Within book really directly ties his outsider status with him fantasizing about being a superhero. And partly it's that he feels set apart, and partly it's that he feels like he wants enough power to fend for himself. I tend to be very literal, because like Daniel was saying, with X-Men, there's been a metaphor for years and years and years, and I think a lot of people take a lot of different things from it. But it was always very clear to me, like back in the old New Mutants book, I think it was number 42, it was a teen suicide issue, back in 45? Sorry. It was the only comic that I saved. I moved across the country to school, and it was the only comic book I took with me. Hope cry. But that was very literally about, I mean, to me it was very literal about a guy not being able to deal with being outed.
You know, when the lights went off, I forgot the question.
Very distracting.
We're talking about making sure the sense of other that is brought into comic works is an authentic, honest sense rather than sort of an easy
flamboyant.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, in my opinion, like the movement itself, the people who couldn't hide were the flamboyant people. So, and they're the ones who really pushed the movement forward until normal acting people could take it over. I think the same thing with comics. I mean, people are always going to put the stereotypes up there. Look at what's his name? The guy with the two powers. What's his Black Lightning. When he used to put on the fake afro, and fight crime. I mean, that was the stereotype, but it was important that he did have his own books. So it's that kind of thing where, yes, they were very flamboyant. Yes, the people writing probably weren't too versed on gay culture, but at least it opened the door and there's more chance for coming in. But now, I think it's room for the flamboyant characters as well as the other characters too. That's why I like characters like Colossus in the New Universe. He's this big butch guy and he can be beautiful and hot and gay at the same time. And I'm hoping that Nightcrawler finds out his feathers. And so I think now is a much better chance to do that. But again, it's up to the writers and the editors.
So, specifically when I write my manga, I think about the experiences that I had when I was a child, when I was a high school student, when I was growing up, when I became, an adult. And I use that as the basis for the things that I write. Because obviously I'm a real person, so my experiences were real. So if I can just express my experiences, I think that people will sense that realism. I also just, thinking positive and thinking forward. And another one of the big things about the books that I write, especially the ones for the younger kids, is that it's also for the parents and for the friends. I think a big part of it is to get the people around the people who are reading this to be supportive.